welcome to today's devotion. I'm John Marshall from the 2004 batch. I would like to begin today's devotion by asking you this question. Are you thankful to God in all circumstances of life? Have you thought about this question before? Indeed, we're all thankful as Christians. We're thankful when we receive a lot from God. But that thankfulness sometimes does not extend to all circumstances. We are thankful when we receive something. But what happens when we lose something in our life? Are we thankful to God in those circumstances as well? Are we thankful amidst adversaries, amidst suffering, amidst disaster? Now think about the life of Job. Think about the life that he actually went through. In a very short span of time, he lost everything. He lost his cattle, his donkeys, his oxen, his camels. He lost his family, relatives, children. He lost his wealth. He lost absolutely everything. And still, you know what Job said? How he reacted to all his losses and his suffering? This is what he said. If you look at Job chapter 1 verse 21, this is what he says. He says, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of Lord." Now, you see his reaction to the adverse situation that he actually went through. Now, imagine yourself like Job, or going through a suffering like Job. Would you have the boldness or the audacity to worship God in that circumstance? Now that is exactly what Job did. How could he say, "Blessed be the name of the Lord," when he actually went through so much suffering? And I think that is the level of thankfulness that God desires from us. Being thankful to God in all circumstances means that we acknowledge the sovereignty of God in our life. We know that God is in control no matter what happens in our lives. Think about the Apostle Paul in the New Testament. He was imprisoned. He was persecuted. He was tortured. He was beaten. He was stoned. And yet this is what he got to say about his life, particularly in his letter to the Thessalonians, writing from the prison. This is what he says in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses from 16 to 18. He says, "Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus." He says, give thanks in all circumstances. The circumstances in which Paul was actually writing this letter was that he was imprisoned, he was jailed. And that was the circumstances in which he's writing to the Thessalonians to rejoice not during times of success, not during times of joy and happiness, but he says, rejoice always. Our rejoicing is not only during the times we receive good things, but also during the times when we are, in the receiving end of life as well. Rejoice always. Give thanks in all circumstances. The important word there is all and always. Are we able to rejoice always? Are we able to be thankful in all circumstances? That is what Job was able to do. That is what the Apostle Paul was able to do. And as we meditate upon these two characters this morning, I urge you and I encourage you, including myself, to be thankful in all circumstances, which includes our adverse situations as well. Are you thankful to God at all circumstances of your life? Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you.